I don't know if that's a thing. I just totally made that up, but it sounds like it might be a thing. Hi everyone, welcome back. Yes, I am still in my robe. It is, I don't even know what time it is. It's the afternoon time, but what we are going to do today is I need to clean the kitchen and then I want to cook. We are making cabbage soup today. I had talked about that in a previous vlog. I was going to cook and then clean, but I love to cook when the kitchen is nice and clean. It just makes, I don't know, more pleasant. I'm not exactly sure, but when I cook I like to have a nice clean surface, and then as I'm cooking I'll just clean as I go. The other thing that we are doing is our mudroom, laundry room renovation. So I do need to take a few things off the walls. I need to clean behind the washer and dryer, and I did take a quick peek there, and it's like an inch of like dust. I don't even know. I'm probably exaggerating, but it's pretty bad. And so before we start painting, I want to get that all cleaned back there, and then that way when it comes time to paint and to tape off like the trim and the walls and everything, that it just makes the whole painting process much easier and faster. And then as far as everything in this mudroom slash laundry room, I'm going to be taking all of this off the wall. I'm going to reuse like these two metal things probably in my office upstairs, and I'm not sure if we are going to be replacing all of this because eventually this whole area is going to be a walk-in pantry. This will be coming off the wall, and Dan did take out the sink yesterday, which we did film that whole process, so that will be in a whole separate video. And we have the new sink. It's like a cabinet sink thing that it's actually out in the garage, so as soon as we get done painting and cleaning, Dan can install that. This is from when Axel was just a puppy. He had really bad anxiety problems, so he actually chewed up our trim, so we'll be replacing that. And then behind here is what I was talking about with all the dust. I mean, I was just like showing Dan. So it's not an inch, but it's pretty bad. I thought it was about an inch of dust back there. So we're going to have to figure out how I can get back there and clean. I did find some mystery socks that were jammed in between the washer and dryer, so I'll try to get out as much stuff as I can. And then I am going to hopefully start taping along the ceiling and the trim. What's up? Hi, Anka. Good girl. Here's my little troublemaker. Before I start cooking, like I said, I want to clean this kitchen so that I have a nice clean surface. After I'm done cleaning, I will go ahead and get out all the ingredients and go over all of that with you guys so you guys can see exactly what you need if you want to make the soup.
I got an ache inside of me. It's a deep hole where I bleed. Oh, can I seal it? You're like an ocean without land, not a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on it. So cold yet warm when you hold me, when you close. I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray. in line, wait for that drink.
Alright, so here is all the ingredients that you will need for the cabbage soup recipe. And if you are a vegetarian, then you obviously will not use meat and you'll just skip the first part of the recipe that I'm going to give you. If you do eat meat and you want to try this is a pot roast. What you will need is just regular vinegar. If you don't have any regular vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar, sugar, tomato paste, sauce, stewed tomatoes. They didn't have whole ones, so I think that these are just like maybe sliced or something. As long as there's stewed tomatoes, that will be fine. The recipe only calls for 1 onion and 1 cabbage, but I always end up with so much broth at the end and not enough cabbage or onion, so I'm adding an extra cabbage and onion to the recipe this time. And this is a 12 quart pot. And the other thing that you will need is just salt and pepper. If you have bay leaves, great. If you don't worry about it. I've had it with both, with and without, and it was fine. And then the other spice you will need is oregano. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and chop up everything first, and then I will start. You cook the roast first. What you do is you get the pan nice and hot. You don't put any oil, anything in it. And you put the roast and you want to brown it on as many sides as you can. This one is not that thick, so I think I'll just do like the top and the bottom, but if you had a different odd shaped roast, then you would brown it on as many sides as you can. And then once the meat is browned, you add just enough water to cover the roast, and you want to go ahead and let that boil. Once we get to that point, I will pick up the camera and then kind of go over the next couple steps with you.
Oh, it's a busy night tonight. Stand in line, wait for that drink. Oh, this is your time to shine. Bring out them good, stretch your stuff.
Alright, I just have you guys like here on the sink so I can talk to you really quick. It was about, I think it was about 10 cups of water. But you just want to make sure that you're barely just covering the meat with the water. Just like in this, I'll put a little clip in here so you can see what it looks like. And then you would bring that to a boil. The next thing I'm going to do after that water starts to boil, I am going to add the cabbage in. I just did like these size chunks. If you like bigger pieces of cabbage, then just go ahead and cut up bigger pieces. If you like them smaller, then go ahead and do that. The same thing applies with the onion. When I cut the onion, just a rough chop. You don't have to, if you like smaller pieces of onion, then make them smaller. If you like them bigger, make them bigger. It is your soup, so just make it however you want. Okay, so we browned the meat, we added the water to cover the meat, we're letting that boil. Then we're gonna add the cabbage and we are going to fill, now this is where it kind of varies because the cabbage will float as you're adding water. So I will show you guys how much water I've been adding, just because the last time it was like way too much and I had to take broth out and put it in a separate container. So I kind of have a better idea, because you still have to add like the tomato sauce and all of that stuff. Just remember, there's no wrong or right amount of water to add. You can always add more in if you're if you get you know, all the way done and you have to let it sit, because you do have to let it simmer for about 4 hours, and that could vary depending on your stove and the temp, like the amount, like the simmer on your stove, because I know that sometimes that varies too with temperature. I don't know if that's a thing, I just totally made that up, but it sounds like it might be a thing. And depending on the cut of meat that you use will depend if the meat is just gonna fall apart or not. The first time we made it, it was not a good cut of meat, so the meat wasn't really falling apart. And then the last time we used a roast, and it was like this pot roast, and it actually was like pretty much falling apart. Same thing applies with spices, the vinegar, the sugar. It's all going to be to taste, so you can do my measurements that I'll put on the screen. And if you like I said, if you want it sweeter or sour, just add a little bit more. You can always add more sugar and add more vinegar, but you can't take it away type of thing. So make sure that you just keep tasting, and that's like the best way to get it the way that you like it, is just keep tasting and adding a little bit, tasting, and that should be good.
You feel so far away, though you're close. Where's your mind at? I wanna know. A penny for your thoughts. I wanna know what's inside that heart of yours. Ooh, I feel paper thin. Ooh, when will you let me in? Do you let anyone get under your skin? You play it cool, but underneath I know you're hiding something. Do you let anyone get under your skin? I just wanna get to know you, so would you let me get to know you, boy?
I think I mentioned earlier that this soup can take 4 hours or longer, and we added extra cabbage, so do you see my blinds over there? That's from the dog's tail.
So messed up.
Yeah, that's another thing that's going bye-bye is that door. We need like a new door there, and the blinds are gonna be like inside of the window, so the dog's tails can't get to that.
I just came across one of our older songs we used in the video. Memory.
It's called Memories?
No.
The song is, oh, okay.
Remember, it's called Come Back Home. Dun, 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 dun,
I'm tired, but I'm gonna still take down that stuff in the laundry room because Dan wants to like patch up any like holes in the wall before we start painting. So
Direction, then it's up to you. I can show you the right direction. It's not a mission for two. People have brains and hearts. Go move them, go get them. If you can't win, pretend. For as long as the dogs don't bark at your end. Be smooth, turn up the charm. White lies, do no harm. I can point you in the right direction. Then it's up to you. I can show you the right direction. It's not a mission for two. Doesn't matter what they think about us. Don't care what they're gonna say. You are you and they.
yeah, I'm gonna have Dan help me with the rest of this because I went to go move the dryer and I knocked something loose over there. So I'm gonna have him, I'll have him come in from outside. He's working on, I think, the lawnmower right now, and help me clean back here. I got this all clean. This was all like full of dust, but I need to still get like the floor down here and behind the washing machine. And then I got everything off the walls that needs repair. This wall over here, you can't really see anything because everything that was on the wall just required a very small like nail. So you can't really see it, but if you're up close, you can definitely see the little holes. So we'll get that all patched up tonight so that we can start painting. All right, thanks guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the little clean with me and the cabbage soup recipe. So I'll try to add like the cook with me and clean with me is like in the same video, so that if you guys need an idea, something easy to cook, because I am not a chef at all. I just do like really simple stuff. Skyla is the chef. She does all the elaborate recipes. I'm not sure when she is going to be posting her video, but if you are subscribed to her channel, she's going to do a whole like how she does like the whole hibachi night. If you have a pancake griddle and you want to do it, or your kids want to cook for you one night, it's so much fun. She probably can even add a little tutorial on how she makes the paper hat. Like, I had no idea. She just used like white printer paper and like staples, and I think she even used tape because I think we ran out of staples or something. But it's so much fun. You guys will love it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Okay, so it's 10:30 right now, and this took a little bit longer than I thought because I actually had it on like really low simmer instead of like low to simmer. All right, so I will show you guys what this will look like. You can see that the cabbage is like almost translucent. Like, you know, you would be able to tell if you bit into a test piece of cabbage and it wasn't like a little bit soft. If it was pretty tough still, then it would not be done yet. I did have to add more sugar and vinegar because it just wasn't sweet enough, and Dan thought it was the salt, so I did add a little bit more salt. The thing with the salt is you can do it to taste. You can always add more separately, like in the bowl, like once you serve it. So you don't want to over salt it, but I did have to add more sugar, that was for sure. At least another like half a cup. And then I think we added more vinegar. So it's just to taste. It should be sweet and sour. Just make sure that when you serve the soup that you find the bay leaves, or at least just make sure that when you serve it, if somebody finds a bay leaf, to take it out. I don't think it will hurt you. I just don't think it's very like pleasant to eat. I'm not sure. I've never actually ate one. I just know that I've always been told to take the bay leaves out when you're done cooking. So yep, but that's it. It turned out fabulous. I can't wait. Skyla's gonna be excited to eat this tomorrow.